Just taking a walk around here next to the river in Tokyo. Very close to the neighborhood where I'm staying is in that direction. There's this sky tree, and yeah, I wanted to come out before it gets dark. It's been raining pretty much all day, and hasn't been sunny at all. So maybe I'll walk over the bridge here. I think it's going to stop raining. I'm not sure. This is the, it feels like the outer edge of Tokyo, but it's really not according to the map. It's just a neighborhood of Tokyo, not on the outskirts. So the outskirts is, it does feel nice though. It's a nice open space, and it's really not crowded. And it was like this yesterday too. Over there's somebody practicing, sounds like a trumpet. Are they playing a trumpet? I'm assuming they're underneath the cover of the bridge. So here we are, the bridge. I'll wait it out and see if I can get onto the other side of the river. There are a fair amount of people walking over it. I don't know if they're walking for exercise or if they're walking to like as part of their commute. Like they are walking from this neighborhood to the next neighborhood to get back home. I don't know. The trumpet is starting up again. Is it trumpet? It sounds like it. So somebody behind there is playing there's a train going by. So I'll have to check and see about whether or not the Zoom is working when I check the video. So this will be my third night staying in this neighborhood. I'm staying just over in that direction, just over there. And there are regular walking paths to get down here. So but it's pretty isolated from the neighborhood. So when you come up over that hill and you enter here, it's kind of like entering another world, especially with the open space and perspective. So you can look in all these directions. It'd be nice to have binoculars, a telescope. But the rain is getting a little bit heavier. It's no problem. I have an umbrella, but it's just yeah. Maybe I'll go down this way, and it looks like I don't see anybody walking across that bridge. I don't see any cyclist either. So that bridge is, I'm guessing, solely for trains. And of course there's the traffic over there. You can see the traffic. Traffic is on the bridge too here. It doesn't seem like there's a traffic congestion problem around here. I haven't seen that anywhere in the city, really. If it is a problem, it's probably not nearly the same issue it is in other cities, like in Southeast Asia, where the traffic can get pretty heavy in such places as Bangkok or Ho Chi Minh City. There's the neighborhood I'm staying is really quiet. So this will be my third night, and I think that after this night I'm going to move, but I'm not sure. I might stay another night, but perhaps when I move I will stay in the same neighborhood. I'm starting to notice there are options that are less expensive. So there are options that are not as where I'm staying is kind of more expensive, I think. It's more expensive than I'd want to pay. But I'm paying it because, I don't know, after staying at that hostel I was staying at previously, it was a nice place to get better rest. It was at the other hostel. It was quite noisy at night with the trains. Train transfer station there. I could hear the grinding of the wheels, and I could hear the horns, and the sound never really got quiet until after midnight. So, and even then, after midnight, there was some other noises, traffic noise. It really, I probably should have used the earplugs that they offered. So, right now I'm in a pretty good neighborhood just near this park. I suppose that I could stay long term in this neighborhood, but there's I don't know, there's a feeling like I'm disconnected from the main central areas of Tokyo. Like it's a little bit far out, and I need to get on the train to get back to a central area. And just by going around on foot, by walking, it doesn't really work out. You just stay in the neighborhood, and it's not a lot of, it's very residential. Of course, there's the convenience stores like 7-Eleven and Family Mart, and there's a lot of like stores like that. There's Aeon, and there's a nice supermarket too. There's a nice supermarket that I found, and also there's it's just that's about it. I haven't noticed a coffee shop, but I have noticed on the map. I just cannot spot it when I'm walking around the neighborhood. So it doesn't look like the rain is letting up, really. So maybe I'll start this way. Lots of people come here to walk their dogs, and notice that a lot. On the plane, cannot see low cloud cover. I'm see how far I can get. If I hold the umbrella just in the right way, it keeps the feet dry. And then if I hold my backpack on the opposite side, and then it works out. But you just have to. It can't rain too hard. But so here's the baseball field. I noticed the baseball fields here are not kept up, but it looks like they still use it, but they don't maintain it for some reason. So perhaps it's like for practice only. They also have a soccer field back there too. And there's a sky tree. It's still a little bit obscured by the clouds. Yeah, this path is really popular. It's my second time coming here. And yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Taipei parks in Taipei, but it's a little bit more, yeah, it's kind of like that where you feel like you exit a neighborhood and you enter such a park over a hill or over past a wall, a high wall, and then you're in another world. You're like in a completely different place compared to the congestion of the major city. And here comes another local train. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 cars on that train. And there's a station, I guess. Looks like this area that's cordoned off is like some sort of nature preserve, or like they just let it go wild. So it's like they have a little fence there, and it's like a border, and inside of there, it looks like just what would happen if you let the grass and nature take over. If you let this kind of thing take over after about, I don't know, 6 months, a year, and it would turn into that tall weeds with bushes. But maybe I'm going to need to seek refuge under this bridge for the trains. It's not a big bridge. It's a narrow bridge. Yeah, the rain is getting worse. It's I was out earlier and I was able to manage okay, and it was this, and I had the slippers on, so my feet were exposed, but I have socks on my feet and with these slippers, but they got a little wet, but hardly noticeable when I returned. So yeah, I definitely like the setup of using an umbrella compared with just wearing a jacket, like a rain jacket and like a hood, because it's like you get the rain on you, and it's like, I don't know, getting the rain on you, it's not, you get wet, so it works. I guess it works, but in the warmer weather, it's not. It doesn't seem necessary, as necessary. So I have this narrow gap of dry land here, And there's the bridge for the trains. And we're coming up on another bridge. That's the bridge that's used by cars, vehicles. And perhaps there's a sidewalk. Oh yeah, there is. I see somebody walking without an umbrella. And so yeah, I could walk across that bridge too. It's kind of nice. It's got some lights on, or those lights on the other side. This is a rumble of another train. And yeah, it's pretty nice. This is a really large park space in Tokyo. I didn't know how some of these parks were. I know that the other parks that I have visited were quite crowded with people because it was in a central area and it was kind of like specifically used or designated as a place to hang out and have snacks or have a drink, coffee, and I don't know. I just thought they were a lot different than this. So this is more of a wild area. This is more disconnected from the city. It just reminds me of Taipei parks, which there's so many there along such rivers as this one. It kind of like, it just looks like a replica of the Taipei parks that are along the river, along the various rivers there in Taipei and New Taipei City. But in other Taiwan cities, it's a little different. But I was also in Osaka previously, and I noticed this same kind of park in Osaka. So perhaps this is quite normal. It sounded like a big train going by. Oh, now I can hear the trumpet from way over here. Yeah, if you have a trumpet and you are gonna be needing to practice that, I mean, you gotta go somewhere, and it's a great place to practice such an instrument. So, yeah, if you have to do something like that that's gonna make a lot of noise, I think in Japan that people don't do that in their homes. They're not doing things like making music, singing, playing the drums. Where does this go? It's doing karaoke. Oh, there's some crabs. Are those crabs in there? Wow. There's something moving. They're crabs. They're little crabs. At first I was like, what is that moving? Huh. Interesting. I can see there's one right there, and they have like white tipped claws, and they're red and white claws. So that's what makes them stand out. Otherwise, it looked like some rodent or rat or mice. Oh, there's another one. Wow. There's a lot of crab in here. Huh. It's interesting. I wonder if it's a farm for crabs. They're moving everywhere. I can hear it, and I can see the movement on the leaves. Let's see. It's probably like my presence. They're all over. It's kind of creepy. I wonder if I can get closer to take a look. That one there, it's like a red, yeah, it's like a red crab. They're moving away from me, so that's, oh, there's so many here. Oh, interesting. It's kind of like a weird feeling. And there's one walking across the path. They're scurrying into the bushes over there. So even like 10 meters ahead, they can sense my presence. They're all over. That's really interesting. I didn't expect this to be like a crab farm. Pretty sure that that's what it is. It's like it can't just be random. I mean, this looks like it's organized in a way. Like perhaps this is quite the elaborate setup. There's one going across there. Oh, it's stuck. Oh, it's the fenced out. Can't get back in. Well, anyways, wow, that's very intrigued by this concept. I'll have to figure out what's going on here with the. It's like seems out of place because it's like crabs. Crabs? Never seen that. Crabs. I mean, I just thought about scorpions that I've seen, but those are really weird and quite strange to see. I saw those kind of walking in an area like this before. I've seen a scorpion. Later on, while walking around in other areas along the river, I would discover the crabs were in different locations as well, moving in and around bushes similar to these ones. And so I assume they are naturally occurring here and not part of a farm. They're utilizing this land, trying to maximize. Of course, there's something going on over here too. Some kind of setup for growing something. I'm guessing because they have a net over top. There's a net over top of it. And so that's probably keeping the birds out, keeping the birds from bothering that area. But the birds can access this area, but perhaps the crabs aren't so easy to get to. The birds cannot. I mean, I think the birds would be interested in crabs for food, but maybe it's just they're too big and they scurry away. They find cover very quickly. All right, so I'm going to continue. I don't know if this is considered a lot of people, but I do notice people regularly coming and going, but it's quite open. It's not really crowded at all, so I guess the people that come here, they come here for like the open space to move around a lot, walking long distances and going across the bridge, cycling around. Bicycle is probably one of the better options to cover these lengths. The bicycle would probably be really nice. So I wonder what this farm is. There's some rows set up, and they've got that netting that probably keeps the birds and I guess other animals out. So it looks like they're growing some sort of herb. I am not sure. So it's they got the crab farm and like a herb, some sort of herb they're growing, or other vegetables, potatoes. I don't know. It could be potatoes. There goes another train. I think that's more than 8 cars. Is it 10 cars? I don't know. Some of the trains are quite long. And there goes another bicycle across the bridge. Oh, what do we got here? We got some sort of area. An open area underneath some trees. At least I can get some cover from the rain in here. It's probably too dark for the just getting over a mild head cold. I don't have a runny nose anymore, but on Thursday the runny nose was pretty bad. It's like constant liquid coming out of my nose. I couldn't stop it. Well, before that, I had a dry, slightly sore throat for about a day and a half. So I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if it was going to get worse, but it just was a runny nose started, and that lasted about 1 day. So, and then that stopped pretty much by yesterday morning, Friday morning. It was no longer an issue at all, so it seemed like I was recovering from the cold. And then today I just have some issue with the cough. Like, it's just kind of like, it's a weird cough where I have to position myself in a certain way so I don't, I don't know, like I want to be able to make the cough properly to get out the phlegm, which seems to be a little bit of a congestion in my chest. So I'm coughing up some stuff from my chest, but it's pretty mild, I think. So the cold has come and gone, not gone all the way, but it's come and nearly gone, I hope, and fairly quick order, not too long. But I have noticed before the trend of such a cold starting with a dry throat or a slightly sore throat, like a sore dry throat, and then like that is like a distinct period, maybe 1 day, maybe even a week, and then after that it's like the congestion starts with it, like mostly noticeable with a runny nose. So So that happened, and then it seems like this is the end of it, the tail end of it, where I'm coughing up stuff. But during the whole time, there hasn't been any sort of issues with body temperature. So here I'm under another bridge. And that train had 8 cars, I think. I think 8 cars is pretty standard, but not sure. And that looks like a long train there. But I think that's 8 cars on that train. There's some more area that looks kind of like a informal gardening or flowers, plant area. So it's a little bit misty under this bridge. It's not like great cover. Or maybe. It's probably around 5 p.m. now, so it's going to get dark in the next 15 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty peaceful out here, though. It's another area where they just kind of let go wild. So it's like there's a line, but it's just grass, but then beyond that, it's like what would happen if you didn't cut the grass for a year or a year and a half or something. This is what it would look like. It would just, it could be all sorts of things going on inside that. It's like it could be like a whole whole assortment of animals. And all kinds of things. It doesn't look like it's organized in any way. They just let it go. It's probably good to have that because it's rather than just grass. I mean, grass is, I guess, grass is good in a way, but it's less support for the soil than something like that. It seems like this kind of area would have more rooted down and be more rooted down and stabilize the ground better than this kind of area. We're getting down close to the river. There's the Arakawa River. I'm not sure. I don't know the name for sure. It smells kind of. It's a strong smell down here. Kind of like a swampy shore area. But yeah, there's another plane. I could see the planes yesterday, but today there's no chance. But there's a lot of traffic in the sky around here because it is. I guess it's because the Narita airport is in that direction, but perhaps there is another airport around here. I don't know. I guess there could be an airport to the north which I think is in that direction, and then Haneda Airport is in that direction, I think. But that's pretty far from here. Yeah. So, there's the traffic moving over there on that bridge. I can start to see it with the lights of the cars. Tokyo is very much pedestrian friendly. It's pretty impressive how you can get around without worrying about having any sort of vehicle. I mean, I guess that's the majority of the people are like that. I'm assuming it's a high percentage who don't have a car. They have bicycles. Lots of people have bicycles, which makes a lot of sense. It's nice when you have the bicycle theft doesn't seem to be too much of an issue. Although I noticed that there are some people who lock up their bikes. But it's starting to get dark here. I guess by the time, if I start walking in that direction, by the time I get back to where I came in, it could be time to head back. Time to go back and have dinner. But it's probably too dark for the camera. I guess you could change it in the settings.